Hello and welcome to this little bonus video. I want to show you this bag of supplies or mini supplies that I have curated for a visit. Today I'm going to be seeing another artist, and I thought it would be cool to take some supplies that I use that are just really important in my practice or things that I really love. So I've got a little canvas bag here, which I will flip over at the end. And let's start with probably the most boring stuff, chopsticks, which I'm sure you can get for free anyway. I have a lot of these and I just thought, okay, let's put in some chopsticks. I've got a Tombow, I will never be able to pronounce it, Fudenosuke, probably, brush. This is a hard tip. I love this. It goes over wet acrylic very well, and you can reconstitute it, if you will. It doesn't clog up. And while it isn't my favorite writing pen anymore, it is definitely one of my favorites to use in my art. In this is a angle brush. It's one of these. I bought two when I went to the art store. I love these. I use them everywhere. So I thought it would be really cool to give one of my favorite brushes. This is a Tombow marker. It's not the color I use. I got the wrong color. I usually use the purple one, which is either called Violet. I think it is called Violet. But I think this is a nice alternative. I have used this one before. It works nicer if you're painting faces with lighter skin tones, but it's a really cool put pen, and this is something I use in probably all of my artwork, especially if there's a face involved. This is a two-tone sketching pencil or correction pencil. I love this. I use the red end just for the initial drawings and then the blue end to finalize it. A little Talons art journal. This one is white, but I've been working with the white paper this week and it's actually quite nice. I didn't know this one was going to be white because I just took it, but I really liked the pattern. I thought it looked a little bit bougie. So that's the one I got. And this is a little junk journal that I made this year. It's got some super paper inside, like proper paper, but it's also got some old artworks and some cards for Easter that we got. And the surprise that I found here in the back was one of my snails. I completely forgot that I had put that here. So I think a junk journal is cool because it's something that's handmade, something that some people view as not precious. I have a difficult time not being precious with my junk journals, but I think it's a really cool thing to have. It's very unpredictable and you never know how it's going to work. So this is why I put this in here. This is just one of my favorite sketchbooks, the brand. It's really important to have a sketchbook. It's really important to have something, obviously, to sketch with, but just to flesh out your ideas, be creative, learn how to draw, perspective, all of those wonderful things. Sketchbook. This is a very cool shading implement. I would say that it helps you correct your work after it's done, and it goes onto acrylic paint easily. Beautiful brush, chopstick for texture, brush for lining. So I think these are really cool things. I would have loved to put acrylic into this collection, but number one, the person's traveling, and number two, I didn't get little tubes of acrylic. So what I did is I compromised. I got a paint pen in my favorite color. I haven't used these ones personally, but I have used this color, so I'm hoping it'll be a similar experience. And then I made this. I decided if I couldn't do acrylic, I would make a little palette, and I would put my favorite colors of gouache inside that have similar colors to the acrylic that I love to use all the time. So lime green, hot pink, an orange. I wish I would have put white in here instead, but I think the lavender is quite nice and it gives you some options. So some pastel colors and some really bright colors. I made this with air dry clay. I put the air dry clay inside. I dug out the wells, I let it dry, I patched up the cracks because it did crack, and then I put varnish over it. And then I varnished it again and again to kind of seal up the holes between the metal and the clay. I'm not sure if this is going to last the test of time. I don't think this is going to be here in 5 years, not at all. I'm also worried that it could get moldy, but what I'm hoping is that it's not a lot of color and maybe the person will be a bit more free with it, because, you know, it could go bad or not. And yeah, that's why I made this. I really think it's super cool and super cute. I'm gonna make one for myself because I really want to start doing outside painting. And I put it in this little canvas bag. I got these sets of bags since last year, and I'm really happy that I finally got a chance to paint on it. And this is what I did. A little background / abstract with a little strawberry person. Let's see if we can zoom in here. I love it. I had to learn how to use fabric paint, so that was interesting and cool. And I think he's really cute, and I think this is a really cool curated set. I had to be a little bit creative because I couldn't put in things I wanted, and I also had to be very thoughtful about what I wanted to put in. This is very different from limited supplies. You know, when you want to paint and you're only going to use 2 supplies and you curate that way. This is more, what do I use? What makes sense to give somebody if I want to encourage their art practice or give them a little insight into mine? And I think you should definitely try this. You don't necessarily have to give stuff to someone. I think it's just a little bit more of a motivation that I had to give this to someone. And yeah, try it. You might discover some stuff about your art and your art practice and what's important to you. And you might paint some cool stuff. Just ignore this. So I'm off to meet my artist friend. Wish me lots of luck, and I will see you in the next video.